Hello guys, it's Eric with the Film Photography channel. Let's take a look at the Panasonic Super Mini. Okay, so this guy, which Panasonic is calling the Super Mini, formerly the C625AF. AF I'm sure stands for autofocusing. This is a Leica Mini clone. It's got a Leica lens in there. It's a 34mm f3.5 multi-coated lens. It's a nice sharp lens. It does a really good job in terms of the pictures it produces, and sharpness and clarity and all that. It's not it's not phenomenal or anything, but it is really good lens. And this camera is auto everything. Okay, it's automatic film loading, automatic film advance, automatic exposure. You don't really have any kind of backlight control or anything like that. And yeah, and like I said, so yeah, automatic everything, automatic flash. Now the automatic flash can be forced off, and it also can be forced on. All right, so as you can see on this it's got a little screen with a couple of rudimentary controls there. That's the on-off button, and this thing is loud like most cameras of the era. Okay, so that's your self-timer button, and when you set the self-timer off, look at this. Look what happens here. You get this huge light up front. Oops, there's your self-timer light. And this light is also used for, I'll cover that up. It's also used for, what is it called? For red eye reduction. So this actually serves two purposes. One for the self-timer like you just saw, and the other is for red eye reduction. All right, so that's the self-timer mode. And once you hit it, it does turn itself off, so the subsequent shot won't be self-timered as well. And right there is your red eye with your automatic flash, and there is your flash forced on, no red eye. And right here is red eye flash forced on, and here is flash forced off. So that's pretty straightforward set of controls. This is your automatic or your film rewind if you need for some reason to rewind before the spool is used up, before the roll is used up. And there's your nice shutter button, which gives you it's a half press to lock in the exposure. And it's a handsome little guy. I mean, you see it's pretty straightforward, nice design. The Minolta actually makes a version of this also. They call it the Minolta Riva something or the other. Riva Mini, I think it's called. Most of them are going to have Mini in the name. I want to say it was either Ricoh or Konica that made a version of this. So I've run across at least 3 different versions. The Leica Mini, I guess, is the original, but the Leica Mini has a mode button, I think, that's down here somewhere. That's the difference. They all share the same lens, but the Leica Mini has a mode button, and I'm not exactly sure what that does. I've never had one. The viewfinder on this guy is really nice. It's a nice bright viewfinder, and you can see everything really clearly in there. It just has the little center focusing point, so you know where you're focusing, or you put that on what you want to be in focus. And there's a one little dumb LED in the top of the viewfinder, the top center of the viewfinder. It's a green LED, and what it'll do is when you're underexposed, like I am right now, you get a slow blink. I'm underexposed right now because I'm indoors. It's relatively dim in here, and I've got the flash forced off. All right, so anyway, when you're underexposed, you get a slow blink, right? If you're focused too closely, or it's not able to attain focus, like if you just pointed at a blank wall or something, then you get a really fast blink. If everything is great, then the light just burns green. The LED just turns on green. Oh, if the flash is not charged, okay, if the flash isn't ready, and you have the flash either in auto or on the on mode, or one of those modes where it's going to use the flash, then it won't let you take the picture, which is good. And it shouldn't. If you intend to use a flash and the flash isn't ready, this camera won't go ahead and take the picture anyway. Now this camera actually does have the little selfie mirror right there. And again, I don't know if that's intentional. I discovered that on a couple of these old cameras from this decade or whatever. They have a mirrored finish on the viewfinder, which of course is useful for you know, because it offers like a multi-coating when you're looking through there. But I don't know if they if the manufacturers intended it as a selfie mirror, but it works really well. You hold it out there, and I can clearly see myself in the frame there, you know, as I'm looking. And if I don't quite know what's part of that frame is me, then I'll wave my hand a little bit and I say, okay, there I am, and I can see myself, my outline anyway, really clearly, and I can take the photo with no problem. The film transport system is great. No problems there at all. It's an easy or quick loading system. You just lay the film flat across there and it does its thing, or this way rather. It looks like it goes backwards there. So yeah, that everything works fine. And I noticed that they did away with light seals, which is good, because you know, these older cameras, older than this, you know, they had light seals all through here, and this camera doesn't. I mean, there's no light seals at all. The only light seal actually is right here where the film would go, you know, where the film window, where you can see what kind of film you've got loaded. And if that's ever missing or you know, worn away, you could always just put a piece of tape over this, you know, and to make sure that no light leaks in via the film door. A tripod thread here at the bottom, and it's plastic, you know, fantastic plastic tripod thread. And it takes one of these guys here. I always forget what these are. The CR123A. It's a 3-volt battery that pretty much lasts I don't know, maybe a year, or it depends on obviously how much you use the camera, but they do tend to last a long time. It's got a built-in UV filter right there. You can kind of see that. That's not the front element of the lens. That's actually a filter there for, you know, haze, UV haze filter, ultraviolet / haze filter. And then the last little piece here is the thing for a wrist strap. So also keep in mind that obviously it's a fully automatic, a fully electric camera, so it needs the battery for everything. There's no manual mode or anything like that. Okay, so let me just tell you what it's like to actually use this thing. First of all, there's that. It's not a very discreet camera. I had the Minolta version of this. The Minolta, this whole deal here, where the lens is popping in and out, it's a lot quieter on the Minolta. I've never tried the Leica. I'm hoping it'll be as quiet as the Minolta or more so. But yeah, this thing is loud. And you know, that's just pretty much par for the course for cameras of this time. It has an automatic off feature, you know, to save battery power, obviously. So if you're just kind of sitting around in a quiet room or something like that, and 5 minutes is just long enough to forget that the camera was on. So all of a sudden you hear this, and I don't know, it gets me every time. I jump. I'm like, oh, what was that? But in any case, the flash is good. Okay, it calculates fill flash really well, and I actually went out and did a little extreme. I took a extreme photo or two where I've got the sun right behind me in the frame, and I'm doing the selfie, and the fill flash did actually work really well. And the metering system in general, it did calculate the scene really well, so I give it a kudos for that. The exposure seems to be really on point, and the flash exposure and the fill flash seems to be really good. Obviously, it's a direct flash. There's no bounce capability, so you know you're gonna get those harsh, you know, shadows behind you, under the chin, or you know, of your subject. There's no avoiding that. It does have the red eye reduction, which is good. But last thing I'll say about this camera here is that okay, when you go to take a photo, like I said, you've got good stuff here. You can focus, recompose. You got the little indicator to let you know, hey, if this is right, that's not, you know, you're underexposed, you're out of focus, whatever. All that's there. But when it comes time to actually take the picture, and this is what the camera does. Hold on. Let's see if you can hear this. All right. Right now, okay. So let me turn the flash off and I'll show you what my point is. Alright, you see what happened there? I pressed the shutter button. It focuses then. It doesn't focus when I half press. It focuses after I intend to take the picture. So watch this again. I press the button. It focuses. Oh, the flash is back on. It focuses, takes the picture, and then goes back. For some reason, that's the way it's designed. And I truly do not like that. Alright, press the button. Focus, takes the picture, and then it jumps back. So you see, if I want to take the picture like, I want to take the picture right now. This camera says, no, let me focus first, and we'll get around to your picture, okay? That kind of, I don't like at all. You know, other than that, it's a nice camera. It's a point and shoot. It does what it's intended to do. I really don't like that lack of control where, you know, I can't half press, focus, recompose. Yeah, so the half press, all the half press does is lock in the exposure. Once you do the full press, it then focuses, and then it'll take the photo, and then the lens will jump back, giving you a little more noise to contend with while you're, you know, embarrassing yourself taking pictures with this thing. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's about it. It's a cool camera, though, in a lot of senses. It's not necessarily for me, but there's a lot of things about it that I do like. The lens is one of them. It does take really good photos. You know, it's got a nice lens. Like I said, there's nothing groundbreaking or, you know, insane about the lens, but it is a nice, solid, sharp, clear lens. So there's no criticizing the lens as far as I'm concerned. So overall, it's a fun camera to use. It's got great fill flash. The flash is great for outdoors and indoors. It's got a surprising range on it too. The flash actually goes out a pretty long way. It's a nice, it's a good-looking camera. It focuses accurately. It meters really, really well. I'm not crazy about the way that shutter actuation does, so it does everything well except for when it comes time to take the picture. I'm not crazy about that, but it may not be a showstopper for others, but it kind of bugs me a little bit. It's got a great viewfinder. You know, I'm a sucker for a nice viewfinder, and it's big, it's clear, it's coated. You can use it as a selfie, for a selfie mirror. And this is very pocketable camera, and it's made from, you know, a decent quality plastic. It doesn't feel cheap at all. It uses very common batteries that are, you know, that last quite a long time. And hey, and they're inexpensive. You can get one of these around you know, a nice mint one like this, and this thing is without scratches, dents, stings. It's a nice clean body. You can get one of these in the $50-$60 or something like that. And to get a Leica lens at $50 or $60, it's the same lens that's in the Leica Mini, which is typically goes for about $250 or something like that. And in terms of the most important part of the camera being the lens, you know, you're going to take the same pictures with this as the Leica Mini would, as you could with the Leica Mini. So that's a bonus. All right, guys. So this is it. This is the Panasonic Super Mini. If you like fantastic plastic cameras, point and shoot, easy to use, go get one.